I'm Aron Taylor Smith and I'm down with the Hendy Motor Group today to show you some of the differences between the road-going CUPRA versus our British touring car CUPRA. I think what drew us to pick the CUPRA as our British touring car stallion was the DNA that the culture of the CUPRA is in general. It stems from motorsport, and that has crossed directly from the road-going car into our race car. You can see from the styling of the road-going car, it already has a very low drag coefficient, which stems into a very successful British touring car. One of the first things that I always notice from looking from the outside are like our big flared wheel arches and everything like that. That is slightly different to the road-going car. The reason being, it's a bit more aerodynamic friendly. So we run the cars as low as possible to keep the center of gravity right down. But that has stemmed from the road-going version as well. Another big similarity is, one of my favorite aspects is the honeycomb mesh. So that's all designed for our cooling package, which has directly come across into the touring car. So that's where there's a lot of crossover from what has been developed with the road-going motorsport theme of CUPRA into what I believe will be a race-winning and hopefully a championship-winning British touring car. We'll jump on inside the cars now to have a look at what the crossovers are on the inside, because again, there are a lot that people don't realise from the hybrid era coming into British touring cars in 2021, and all of that has been developed within the road-going car. Okay, so inside the car you can see all the luxuries of your road car stripped out. Performance and keeping the weight as low as possible is at the forefront of the design of this. But there are still some crossovers. So you'll see, I'll pop the wheel off so you can have a look. The car is already fitted with our hybrid kit. So again, you'll see when I jump into the road-going car, the hybrid of the CUPRA is what has helped with the development of this. There's a lot of other similarities in terms of how everything is structured. So you'll see obviously our dash that comes out of the road car. It's flocked, so it keeps the reduction of the light shining on it when the sun's going low. So silly little bits like that change across. Everything in this cockpit is around safety and performance. Our roll cage is a lot more sturdy than what you'll see in your standard road car, but it adds stiffness and rigidity to the chassis, which furthers the performance over, say, the course of a lap and making sure it is as fast as possible. Our gearbox is a sequential gearbox, so you're pulling the lever towards you to go up the gears, knocking it away from you to go down through the gears. We don't have the fancy DSG Tiptronic gearbox, that will be in the CUPRA, but again, it has that kind of similarity where this gearbox is here for performance, similar to what's in the CUPRA. In terms of the cockpit itself, our dash is all digital. That will display everything from engine temperatures to oil temperatures to even exhaust temperatures. So you'll see obviously over when we jump into the CUPRA, that has a lot of information similar to that actually. So it is, again, the performance aspect of the CUPRA coming into the British touring car. First thing that strikes me when I jump into the road-going CUPRA is just the comfort level. Yes, performance is at the forefront of it. You can see that with your paddle shifts. You can even see it with the Cooper mode and the sport mode button on the dials, similar to what we have in terms of engine maps in the touring car. But it's just such a comfortable car to sit in. The ride height, everything like that is perfect. It's a real hot hatch, and I love that about it. There are so many crossovers, you know, even everything from, you look at it and I see the wing mirror shapes. It all feeds back into what I'm so used to seeing when I'm inside the touring car. And I think that's what's nice. You can see the DNA of what CUPRA stands for is littered around this car and directly filters into the British touring car. I love how everything is motorsport themed. You even look at the dash and it has a G-force reader on it. I've never seen that in a road car. And I think that's what you don't see in normal cars, and that is a real tribute to the CUPRA name, is having that type of motorsport system in place that it will read this and give drivers a little bit more feedback. And then another really cool aspect of the CUPRA in general are the different drive modes that you can have. So you have a sport mode, you have a comfort mode, and then the mode that I would personally always have it in is CUPRA mode. It just extracts everything from it. It turns the engine on that little bit more aggressive, and it makes it a bit more racy from the suspension being that little bit more stiff, everything like that. It's leading towards what the British touring car is. There's such a strong DNA of motorsport in this road car. To me, it's really like nothing else that's on the road currently. So that wraps up the difference between the road-going CUPRA and our British touring car championship car. You'll see that the DNA has crossed over from the CUPRA into what our British touring car is. So tune into ITV4 over the remainder of the year to hopefully see me at the front putting on a good show for the Hendy group and winning some races.